Hey everyone, I'm William John Raitt, and this is Design and Invest. This is a design deep dive episode of the property you see behind me in Santa Ana. Let's go inside, I'll tell you more about it. So let me give you a little background on this property. This is a flip. One of my good clients called me up and said, hey, I bought a property in Santa Ana. And I said, first, why'd you do that? No, I'm just kidding. We do a lot in LA and surrounding areas. This is a little further south than I'm used to sort of going to, but it's totally fine. I told him, yeah, tell me about it. He bought it for, I'm not sure exact number, I think in the low 600s. And this came with cars, it was like a hoarder's house, but not a poor hoarder. The guy who previously lived in this house was just collecting, you know, Lionel train cars and other collectibles. And so the house had a lot of stuff in it that was actually valuable. So I don't know how much money he flipped those products for, but it was one of the incentives of buying the home because it came with all that stuff. The house itself did not need to be overdone. If you overdo this house, you don't make a profit. So we kept the budget to like $75,000, $80,000 total, and just really focused our efforts on cosmetics and making things look new, sharp, fresh, clean, but not overdoing it, okay? You could easily spend $150,000 on a home like this in your sleep. A couple things we had going for us. We had original, beautiful double hung windows. They needed some repairs, some TLC, some love. Also, this neighborhood is HPOZ, which is Historic Preservation Society. So you got a lot of elderly people that have nothing better to do with their time than tell you what to do and what not to do on your property. So this property here, one of the things, I don't even need to go to the council meetings. I already know I've been to enough of those to know that don't touch the windows. Original wood windows, no, don't replace those. The colors on the outside, the overall look and aesthetic of the outside, don't touch that, keep that alone. So really what we did here on the outside is we stripped down the paint, patched everything, fixed any fascia board, any sort of dry rot damage, painted it back the same original color that it was, just a fresh coat of paint throughout the exterior, fixed all the double hung windows. We put some beautiful window treatments, painted everything white. This place has a lot of molding and it was painted every color. If I show you the photos, you'll see they're amazing, like some of these colors. It's not in a good way, but we neutralized everything, painted everything white, hit it all with a nice satin finish, and we put in a brand new HVAC unit to bring it up to date. We didn't redo the electrical, but we updated it. We put some new light fixtures throughout, making everything sort of center fixtures instead of like ugly fans and no fixtures or just really dated fixtures. All of the doors, we changed them out with new hinges, new door stoppers, new door handles. A lot of them were old, beautiful doors, old shaker doors, but they had mortise locks. So we brought them into the new day and age with some nice lever door handles, puttied in any extra space that was remaining from the mortise locks. Original wood floors, beautiful as well. They refinished very nicely. My guy took it down to the bare wood. We inspected it, make sure that there was no like really bad stains or areas that need to be patched. Couple patches, nothing too crazy. I wanted to just drop a polyurethane on it, but the polyurethane would show some pet stains and some things over the years that we couldn't get out. So we added a slight tint to the polyurethane, and it turned out beautifully. It's kind of like an almondy color, and let's go through the other rooms and the other areas so I can show you what we did in those rooms. Cool features like these built-ins I wanted to keep because it adds some character. Also looks good for staging and things like that. Again, we kept the wainscoting and all the treatment throughout. Looks very nice, clean, but adds a nice element of design and dimension to the property. We changed out all the outlets to new square ones, and all of the face plates as well as the light switches. So everything looks crisp. It doesn't look brand new. It's not a new house, but it's enough. You don't really need to overdo these homes. Like I said before, you could easily spend $150,000 on a flip like this. We needed to stretch that budget as far as possible and spend about 80 total. So the client's still gonna make some money. Not gonna be a home run, but he's an interesting dude that buys things on emotion, and I think he liked the old Lionel train cars and old cars that were in the driveway that were sort of grandfathered into the deal. So I think that was a little cherry on top for him, and it's just fun for him. But yeah, so we went through this job. This took about 3 months total. I'm not here every day. I can't come out to Santa Ana every day. You know, if it were in my backyard, I could probably get it done in about a month and a half. But managing trades this far away and with my other schedule and timeline, it worked out. And not only that, but the real estate market right now is red hot. It is February right now, 2021. And it is on fire. Everything that's listed, inventory is super low. Everything that's listed is pending, selling quick. This one, really have to get it to market. I have no doubt that there's gonna be a multiple offer type situation. There's already an offer coming in and we're not even done with the property yet. We just finished, but there was already an offer a couple weeks ago. We told them, wait until the end, until you see it, because they started giving us a checklist of items to fix. And I'm like, hey, we're not done with the property, so save that list and come see it when we are done. But they will be given the first right to come in here and check it out because they're very interested. But we're not going to hold it up. I think the realtor, Brett Hazard, is going to put it to the market and let the market decide what to do with this property. Here's the hall bathroom. This services all 3 of these bedrooms over here. We kept the original tub. These cast iron tubs are awesome. They're built like tanks. Indestructible. We just glaze them. They look really nice, and actually people like the retroness of them. We put in a new shower surround, $2 square foot tile, nothing crazy. Nice Schluter trim. Everything in this house is a stainless steel finish. Door handles, door hinges, the valves, new valves here. We did new vertical plumbing here. A few new stretches of horizontal underneath the house, just because it was in really poor shape, but we didn't redo completely on the plumbing. This one, I didn't want to put glass enclosure, doesn't really need it. And honestly, I think this person might want to bathe their kid. It might be too hard to do that with glass and such. If they have, this is most likely a buyer that's gonna have kids, a family. There's some cool built-ins that were already existing here over the toilet. I just painted those, didn't need to redo them. We did put in new vanity and new white quartz. It's more of like an ivory colored quartz. You know, just real basic mirrors. We put a cool light fixture above the vanity to give some nice accent lighting. There was already a fixture there, so it worked out nicely. And yeah, didn't need to really redo it. On the bathroom and kitchens, we, instead of putting curtains like we did in the other bedrooms, we put these horizontal blinds. And these ones, you know, you just go up and down. They're pretty cool. This is already tinted. A couple pieces of glass in this property were broken, so we had to patch them and put in new pieces, but it worked out nicely. And the beautiful original windows, I think people are gonna appreciate. Really cool feature of this house that I personally love is this attic. The attic has this awesome ladder and built-ins around inside of there. The space itself, I stage as an office kind of lounge area. But if I was a kid, I would love to go up there and play, run around. We put a new window there. We tore out all the sort of ugly, not very well built-ins that were in there, and just sort of painted it, patched it, added an air duct up there, so that way you do have some AC up there as well, because we put a brand new system in. But it's quite lovely and a great value add for the property. You have 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, plus this awesome attic, office / flex room. This 3rd bedroom was an interesting one because it wasn't an actual bedroom. They used it more as an office sort of catch-all space, more of a nook, but it did have a closet. It was just a wider open space, and inside was a built-in on the backside, but I closed it up, put a door. There's no reason why it shouldn't be a bedroom. This house could really use a 3rd bedroom, and it looks like it was at some point maybe a 3rd bedroom, but very easy to convert that back, and it will suit a family very well. Here in the living room, this room was quite wild. There was pinks and crazy carpets and really filled. When I first walked into this property, it was filled to the brim with stuff, and we just really neutralized the space. New floor, I mean not new floors, but refinished the floors, all new paint, neutralizing it. It does have beautiful trim work. You know, you have these great crown moldings and wainscoting and chair railings. You know, it's quite nice. Over here in the fireplace, it had a lot of gold. I hate gold. I took away all the gold door handles and hinges and replaced them all with steel. And over here, this was gold. The surround, I painted it with a high heat paint, enamel paint, white, and then just neutralized the mantle, got rid of the old white shelves that were kind of drab, replaced them with glass. I think it adds a little delicate touch to it. I think it's quite nice. You know, the fire surround and the hearth, we left the same. Mantle, we didn't need to replace all that stuff. We just cleaned it all up, painted it, left the brick alone. It looks really nice. This is definitely a brick type of house. The facade is loads of brick. You can't get away from that. HPOZ, I don't even want to try. It's a cute house. I think people are gonna love it. You don't need to overdo it, like I said before, and I think this is done just right. This pass-through had built-ins, and it wasn't very sexy. We stripped it all down, opened it up a little more, closed off that side, added a nice overhang here with the same quartz carrying through. Great little area for some bar stools. Sit here while mom's making some dinner, hang out in there. In the kitchen itself, we replaced all the cabinetry with some nice espresso shaker and stainless steel hardware. And we carried that same hardware throughout the house, matching up the old built-in, so it's you have a really cohesiveness to it. There was a pendant over the sink before. We added a new one, pulled it out a little bit, and new undermount sink, horizontal blinds in all of the windows in this area. The flooring in here, it's not the best flooring, but again, this would have cost a pretty penny to replace all this flooring. I'd rather just leave it alone and just cleaned it up a bit. And it looks nice. We put some stainless steel appliances, some secondhand ones that I get. Stove was like $600-700 bucks. The range hood was a couple $100 at Home Depot. A Frigidaire dishwasher, a few $100 there. Don't need to overdo it. The appliance, the fridge, I had at the warehouse from another job that we had, and it shows really nicely. We brought over some washer and dryer set for staging purposes. No problem including those with the sale, I don't mind, but just leaving that area blank was probably not the best idea. Those cabinets above the washer dryer were existing. We ended up just painting those, painting this beam, just toning things down goes a really, really long way. And the space looks clean, crisp. I don't think anybody's gonna complain. Simple 3/4 bath here, didn't do much in there, just new vanity, put a new shower in place of the old. It's pretty straightforward here. The backyard is probably the biggest transformation because there was so much stuff. There was overgrown vegetation piled this high back here. This entire space, it looked like at some point they wanted to build a big deck back here, so there was a bunch of decking material, big cinder blocks, and then vegetation for 10-15 years worth just grown on top of that. In the back, there was a huge mound of dirt, probably about 6-8 feet high. And I was afraid I was gonna find some dead bodies. Thankfully, there was no dead bodies there, but it was quite strange, so we leveled that all out, had to take some of the dirt away. I wanted them to have a nice big green backyard. I didn't want to overdo it too because this can get out of hand. I could easily spent $5,000 on irrigation. I just did a big square here, a big square, nice rain birds. I didn't have to overdo the irrigation. It could have cost me a lot more. Instead, I did the border in the back and on the side behind the garage that nobody really even sees with just wood chips. And then over here, a little section with just wood chips. The concrete here, we patched any cracks and stuff, and then we just painted it with a nice concrete paint that they sell at Home Depot. It finishes nicely. It comes in and it fills in the cracks. It's a really good paint. It's clean, it's crisp. Again, on the outside, we just painted all the windows, make sure we patched everything, put in some new light fixtures. The water heater, we put a little corral around that. There was a structure over here that was really bizarre. I don't even know what it was for, but you'll see what I mean. Over here, it was just built all the way up, connected to the house. The water heater was connected inside of there. It was just a mess. That thing had to go. Mowed that down. It opens up the space completely. Garage door was in good shape. The garage itself was in good shape. All we had to do was just patch up some stucco, repaint that, but big transformation back here. If the staging looks familiar, it's because we brought this all over from a property that just closed really quick, a flip of ours in Arleta, the Stanwin property. That one sold quick, like I said, and it lined up pretty well. 3 bedrooms, we have 3 bedrooms here. The feel is a little more modern with the dining room table and stuff like that for this house, a little more traditional, but it fits nicely and it checks all the boxes. We brought a little extra, an office set for the attic, and a little 2-topper bistro, a couple bar stools. But aside from that, it's all the same stuff that came from Stanwin. But this property here is, like I said, a prime example of not overdoing it. When you spend too much money on a flip, you don't see the money back. It is 101. Everybody makes that mistake. I, as you know, have a staging business. I'm on job walks every single day with flippers. And the most common mistake that I see out there is them doing too much, you know? Sometimes the windows and saving things, that are existing, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not the most glamorous. Do I want to completely redo this tile and put a direct vent fireplace and I mean, yeah. And do I do that on some properties? Yeah. I mean, look at Lake Hollywood. That's a $3-4 million home. So you got to do some crazy stuff there, and that's fun. That gets my mind going, and I'm able to spend other people's money and just really make it happen. But this particular property does not call for it. That's not apples to apples. So really know what flip, know your demographic of the buyer, know your market most importantly, because the market here is on fire. The quicker you get to market with a decent product, you're gonna sell. You don't need to overdo it. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, follow us, subscribe, and remember, design, invest, and repeat.